Moving on to something that Yorkie was in attendance for on Friday. The Sens officially welcomed the new owner.
The game, he cares about the game, he's passionate about the game, and that's why I couldn't be more excited about the future of this franchise. And so we are all delighted, excited to welcome you and your group to the NHL. This is going to be terrific, so welcome.
It's been a long road, but I must tell you, it's been worth the journey. I can really say I'm finally home. It's emotional. Thank you. On the ice, it's all about having a winning team. It's a with the goal of bringing home a Stanley Cup. Plain and simple. Together, and I say together, we will make the city proud, and let's bring the cup back to Ottawa. Go Sens, go.
So Michael Andlauer, the new owner of the Ottawa Senators, along with a consortium, if you will. Also, your brother Jeff York is involved. Rocco Tullio. There's and the Claridge family, the Malholtras, I should say. Lots of people involved in this. It's exciting to finally have it done. I thought Andlauer, Yorkie, you were there. I thought he did a phenomenal job, and he's just as simple as it is. He just wants to win a hockey game.
And he had a great quote that really got highlighted when he talked about the team. He goes, "I'm the owner." But he goes, but the team truly belongs to the fans, which I thought, man, that was a really I never heard that before in the last little while here. But saying that, he just struck me, number one, very intelligent, very humble, very aware, and it was great. I know I was there, listened to the whole thing. It was a home run, just hit it out of the park, and then hung around after. Actually got a chance to talk to him, meet him. Just a great person, great guy. This truly is, and I've been saying this for a long time. This is a very exciting time for the franchise to have a person like this be in charge of the Ottawa Senators. Like it's going to be exciting. But he's gonna like, one of the things he said during his press conference as well was, somebody asked him, "What's your plan now to win?" And he's like, "Well, I'm going to observe. I'm going to continue to observe and watch." And he's very calculated and take his time and making the right moves, the right decisions. And I was really impressed. And a lot of major players in the city, as you mentioned, some of them, Wally, there in attendance. Just so many good people surrounding him that are going to make this ownership group so good for the city. It truly is exciting.
Does it matter to the players?
Does what matter? Well, Bob, you've played a lot more recent than I have. What do you think?
No. I think what matters to the players is that they're not answering questions about it day in and day out.
Yeah.
And it's not something that's every time you come in, Brian Morris or Chris Morris are going to have to say, "Hey, this is what's happening outside the team and the room." They might ask you to weigh in on it. That part will be a relief for the players. Doesn't matter to them who owns the team. The paychecks are the paychecks. They're there to win. They're there to not answer questions about anything that has to do with what's on the ice. So that part doesn't matter. The interviews matter. The fluidity matters, and the fact that every day they're going to come to the rink. They know who's in charge. They know, that kind of stuff. You don't have to worry about, like, you remember, because you were there, Wally, the one year when everything was being blown up. I loved Eugene, but you never knew what he was going to say the night before. And if he did, you'd come in and go, "Oh, Wally's going to come in. He's going to have his hair coiffed and the oil on the face, and he's going to ask about this immediately." So it's going to be nice to not have those distractions for the players. That's the big, big takeaway. But I agree with Yorkie. I heard more of the tidbits and more of the snapshots of the quotes, and I thought he nailed it. And he's going to bring, him and his group are going to bring something the team haven't had in a little bit, and that's some serious stability. So it's huge.
Yeah. I remember when I first came to the league, I played for Detroit, and at the time it was still owned by the Ilitch family, but like, when you have a really good owner, you're appreciative because you get things like, everything's there at your at your whatever, and
You have the best of anything.
You have the best of everything, and not that most teams, if you go into any NHL locker room right now, most teams do.
Yeah.
With the exception, you hear the rumors about Calgary's. Who was it that was talking about Calgary's room? I forget the player. I think it was Mackenzie Weegar. Said something about the room when he got there. Yeah, we could use a new rink here or new room.
Yes.
But yeah, Ottawa's already the room is great right now. They got everything you need. But yeah, when you know a really good person owns the team, and he also too during the press conference, other thing he said, it's all about winning. And you go back to when this team was when you had Snoop Dogg and The Weeknd and Ron Reynolds. People say, "Oh, it's going to be great. Ottawa's going to they're going to do this. There's going to be concerts and there's going to be a reality show." And I was always of the opinion, at the end of the day, and especially in a Canadian city, it's about winning. Like, who cares if you have a show about the team or whatever? Like, that's great, but if you're not winning, everyone's pissed off. So it is about winning, and that he made that crystal clear that his number one priority is to bring a cup here, and I believe him.
So I don't think this gets talked about enough. Is Cyril Leader? So at the press conference, it was announced Cyril Leader back as CEO and president. By the way, it was 6 years ago, almost to the month, that he was fired. It was August of 2017. He's a guy that's a day one guy, right? Part of the founding group. It just makes everything feel right with this organization. And I don't know what it's like for you guys, but for someone on the outside that was always having to go to, if you needed something to a president or whatever, he was always very good, very willing, and he's always in tune with what's going on in this city. I just think this decision is huge, and I don't know that people understand exactly that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess as a player, I didn't have the same understanding that somebody that that you might have in the organization, right? I'll tell you that the year that I went to Columbus for the All-Star game, I had gotten a plane down and said, "Why don't you guys just hop on with me so that you're not, Columbus is a hard enough place to get to. So let's just not have anybody fly commercial. I'll get a big enough one that we can all hop on." And I spent some time on the flight with him and his wife coming home, and they were, that was the most I think I'd ever talked to him, one-on-one or one-on-two, I guess, with my wife and him and the Hoffmans flying with us. And I just, I came away thinking, and I had, interactions with them, but I came away thinking what a very, very enlightened, smart, humble, and just kind family they were. And I don't know if that's the same as everybody else's experience, but it was mine. Yes. And I really enjoyed my time around them.
Yeah. So I knew Cyril when I played, and then I knew him when I was done. And being from here, being up in the box when he's watching a game too, like he is, first and foremost, he's a fan of the game. He's a fan of the team, cares about the team. And when he was let go, Wally, you remember this, people in this city were very upset. There was a lot of anger, and there was a lot of mistrust towards the Ottawa Senators. And I truly believe a generation of fans were lost. And when moves like that were made, lots of people, especially in the business community, were driven away from the Ottawa Senators. I have friends in business that own businesses that had season tickets that just stopped buying tickets. They said, we're not going to come anymore. So I think first and foremost, this move, you're bringing in a guy that's a very smart guy. He knows the market. He's competent, but you're also regaining the trust within the community, and more importantly, the business community. Ottawa's a very small city. Everybody knows everybody. And this move, I just think it's so smart because, like I said, he knows how to do the job. And more importantly, he's an Ottawa guy that people really like and trust in the community. So it's regaining the trust of fans, business people, and it's just going to help the brand. It was, and he did it very quickly during the press conference, and even the people in attendance there. It is such a smart, good move. So yeah, it was a great decision.